okay? The volar,
Yeah.
the volar one, please.
It's the distal one.
Okay.
Then
Alright.
I don't know if it's
Sorry.
have an IV in the night. But I don't think they ever do it. You can change it to the right on the script. Okay.
We don't understand. We don't hear well. We don't hear you.
First we'll change. Okay. We'll change that maybe.
You want to check it out? Check it out. Okay. Yeah, I put it here.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. It's better than the foot. Okay. I'll do the same thing there. I think the nice thing is it's already been done. If we do something like this, we can do 1 and 1 for them. Okay. Yeah. And then we'll do something like this. This will. Here we are. No? Just one. Just one side.
Just one.
Okay.
That's one.
Okay.
وان سلايد وان كوم يصير اعتمد ديال التزيين وسير اعتمد ديال الاخر ديال
This is harder.
هما كلشي شو دابا مازال كتعاود فيهم كتقول ما يساوي Caméra sur la main, l'autre main, s'il vous plaît.
Okay, but this is what we would do. Okay? Let's return here. The one thing you could do here is this flap here. It looks like we're going to have to come to a flat a little bit. Right? And then we'll do something like this. And again, because you're advancing this, you need a Burroughs triangle. So you're going to do something like this. And pretty significant advancement. Right? Same thing here. And we'll bring this up to here. And do something like this.
Caméra centrée, s'il vous plaît.
And I'm going to use these as, so this gets advanced. Yeah? And then as this advances, you have all this extra skin here, which you're going to close. See that? Just like that. Okay? And that will advance this. This will advance. Now we have to make it match. Right? So we have a flat end here. We have a shape that's like this. Now we have to match that shape on the other side. Okay? I'm going to go to the base here, somewhere over here. Right? That is going to meet there. Right? And then I'm going to have things on either side that I'm going to have to build. So you can do a variety of things here. You want to try to get something to cover up here because you're going to have a lot of raw space up there. So the question is, what can we do for that? I do something like this from here to there. I'll just be able to take this and just put it up there, but it's not a lot. Don't mind that. And then this comes up and just reconstructs whatever I can. And then I'll put skin graft in there. And then this needs to go. This whole nail needs to go. And you have this nail, which you could use. Right? So we brought this nail onto here. How do we even do that? Sure these are separable. I'm not sure these are separable, but you have to get rid of this nail because this is a problem. You kind of just cut that out, lips that out, and close it. Right? Yeah. And remove nail and everything. Everything, yeah. You have to go underneath and remove everything. Right? Maybe when you remove the nail plate. Nail plate remove. A new nail, maybe. Yeah? It's going to look like this. She's an optimist. I mean, we can do that now. We can remove that nail and see what happens. But it's just going to form again. I was wondering if there was a way that we could bring this over. This is all one bony plate. There's no. This is all one bone, basically. So that's all stuff. Into one.
Big, no?
Give me most of this sharply. Us. Yeah. Anyone have?
Did that open?
Okay. Take another one of the outsides. I'm just getting through scar right now. So, generally speaking, as long as it's been more than 6 months, you can probably ignore the old scar. It'll be vascularized enough, but it's not ideal. I generally tend to use the scars that already exist and doesn't particularly care. People down there.
Hey.
You notice how fine these scissors are.
Yes.
Most people do not use scissors this sharp. And I would not recommend it unless you are her. Because scissors this sharp can be dangerous in the wrong hands. She knows exactly what she's doing. But I would not use those. I would use something with a blunt tip. Still thinner than what you have. This is the old scar, yes. Question is, why did this fail? I don't know. Try to again preserve as many dorsal veins as we can. I think that's okay.
After the face.
Yep. I love the sunlight. I love operating with sunlight. Hold on a second. Ah, yes. I'm providing traction on both sides. Makes it easier for her to separate. Push this. Yeah. We're doing, hold on, we're doing the distal one, man. This one to this one. Yeah. Here. Mm-hmm. Yes, lovely. Check the thumb dark. Just check the muscle. See the artery. I think the chance of there being an artery here is pretty small. It's still intact. All we're getting is some fat. If the artery is going to be anywhere, it's going to be in there.
On est en train de chercher le pédicule.
What is this? Here, is this just junk? $6. Okay. There we go. There we go. Artery in the fat. Yeah, that's great. Let's get this.
Dans la graisse.
Do you have a right now or harder? What do you guys call a retractor? Harder, right? No? Retractor. Alright. Retractor. Retractor. You can see that this fascia is not divided, which I think is one of the reasons it failed.
Donc la cause de
It's not,
de l'échec de la chirurgie première,
It's
c'est
not
que la
really separated.
libération entre le premier et deuxième métacarpien n'était pas faite jusqu'au bout. Il ne suffit pas de libérer les phalanges.
this is your adductor,
Ah,
maybe.
dans les
Also,
mains,
you're gonna
les mains
it's
Apert
unclear.
et dans les arthrogryposes, il faut que la libération
That's your
continue jusqu'à
adductor.
couper le ligament intermétacarpien, les muscles interosseux-dorsal, premier interosseux-dorsal, l'adducteur du troisième métacarpien pour ouvrir complètement la première commission. Ça, c'est les étapes de la libération
So that makes a huge difference in separating. That was not done previously.
sur
So I think
Apert,
that's one of the reasons
sur
why this failed.
arthrogrypose. Regarde où est-ce qu'elle descend. Regarde. Carrément jusqu'au trapèze.
And here we are, she's advancing this flap, so she's freeing it up so it will move.
Le nerf, le
But it's
pédicule
all
du pouce
scarred in, it won't
descend
move.
jusqu'ici.
Tell me if I'm mistranslating.
C'est
What
pour
you're thinking.
cela, lorsque vous ouvrez la première commissure, les Z-plasties ne marchent pas parce que vous avez une profondeur à fermer.
Yep.
Donc les Z-plasties ne marchent pas dans la première commissure. Il faut toujours
Without
apporter un
that, you
tissu,
can't do it.
un
It
nouveau
won't
tissu
go anywhere.
pour combler le manque de profondeur. C'est les lambeaux qu'il a
I'm
présenté
going to
tout à l'heure
protect
pour la
the
première
nerve
commissure.
here.
Il y a 4 ou 5 lambeaux décrits pour la première commissure. Selon
Here's the nerve and artery. Do you guys see that? I don't know if you can see that. Hisham, Monim, can you see the nerve and the artery there? I'm going to retract those out of harm's way and let her play.
Est-ce que vous voyez le pédicule
Yes.
protégé par le porteur?
Oui, on voit très bien.
Et-
On vous suit. On vous suit. L'image est meilleure. Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait?
Vous voulez traduire
Vous avez changé de téléphone?
Non.
C'est le même téléphone?
Oui.
C'est ton téléphone, Débek. On a changé le téléphone ديالك هو اللي كيعطي. C'est ton téléphone qui a
C'est
changé.
mieux centré d'abord.
D'abord, c'est mieux centré, l'image est plus claire, la qualité d'image.
Ah non. التليفون ديالك اللي تبدل.
La 5G.
I don't see the nerve to do you?
Do you see the nerve?
I don't see anything here. Notice how she's turning her tips away from where she expects the nerve to be, and she's sort of skiing the fat.
Oui,
Ah, there it is.
lorsqu'on ouvre
Now she's
la
found the
commissure,
vessels
on
of
a,
the thumb.
on a une
The
perte
nerve
de
will be
substance,
right
on crée une perte de
closer to it.
substance. On crée une perte de substance qu'il faut combler par un tissu. C'est l'indication des lambeaux d'avancement, de rotation qu'il a présenté tout à l'heure. Le Bogramco, c'est le plus ancien, le stiletto, le dorsal métacarpal frappe modifié par Abdelghani. Ça, c'est les 3 ou 4 lambeaux. Ou le quatrième, c'est l'interosseux
Et la
postérieur.
I don't
Ça,
see
c'est
the
les
nerve
4
yet.
lambeaux décrits dans la première commission.
In the artery.
Là, elle a pris un lambeau dorsal en W.
Okay.
Elle a pris un lambeau dorsal qu'elle a retourné pour le mettre
may have been cut
dans
before.
la commission. Oui, c'est ça, modification. C'est le même principe, c'est un lambeau dorsal de rotation. Dorsal métacarpal rotational flap. Dorsal métacarpal rotational flap. Rotation. Avancement, rotation, parce qu'il était là, il va roter. Il l'appelle rotational flap. C'est un avancement, mais en fait, il tourne. Avancement, c'est strictement, tu gardes le même sens quand tu dis avancement. Là, il était sur l'index ou sur le côté.
Mini rake. You mentioned the last case.
Il dégraisse là ou là il est...
Tiny rake.
Non,
Tiny
elle dissèque le nerf.
Petit.
Qu'est-ce qu'il est en train
No,
de faire,
fiddle.
Raja? What are you doing, Jane?
Et cherche le nerf. Peut-être qu'il a été coupé dans l'intervention précédente, on ne sait pas. On est en train de le chercher.
Ou il n'existe pas.
Did you find the nerve?
Okay. Hold on. He's going to trace the one nerve back where they meet.
Donc il va chercher la bifurcation pour pouvoir le repérer et suivre le crâne.
Hold on.
Un mot.
Open up the flowers. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're going to do more damage. That's right. That was it. It was previously cut, maybe. That looks like scarring. Someone wanting to fan to that, it's not bad.
We can't hear you.
We're not saying anything. We're just taking in the heat.
We're trying to close the window.
Or just a sheet over the window, just because it's right on the
No,
wall.
you're trying.
Wow. I thought the desert was hot. Do you want to go? Yeah. Yes. If you can't see anything on the older side, yes.
I have question, sir.
Yes.
Is
We
there,
hear you.
is there any issue with the digital artery in this such case of Apert syndrome?
We're looking. We're looking. Generally not, but we're looking.
So,
If the bones are separate, it should not be much of an issue.
so if I understand well, only Poland syndrome has artery issues.
No. That's it. See? bifurcation right there. It's a vein. Oh, okay. Bifurcation's up here, you think? There's a nerve, yeah. Okay. You guys see the nerve?
Yes.
Very dog.
Same rules. The dominant artery
Want to
in the digit is.
I don't know for Aperts, frankly.
Is
I think I would test them. I would test everything before I sacrificed anything. Yeah, so far. Sharm, I'm ready for that ice bath.
Gotta wait.
I want an ice bath after this operation. Put a hook right there. On this side. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, stay there, stay there. Stay there. Wait, where'd you go? Hold on. Got it? This is not a good place to have a knife.
I didn't see.
Nope. Gotta be underneath there.
Centrez l'image s'il vous plaît.
We're trying to find the artery. I'm not having any luck. There's a little blush behind the nerve, but I don't think that's it. Doesn't seem to be an artery here. Maybe this? I never know. I think so. No, I don't see anything. I don't even see structure that can pick me up here. Order.
No.
Okay, order. Yeah, I just separated that. If we didn't cut anything, but maybe the nerve in here. But see anything? Just tell me. Maybe. Oh, it's cut. Right?
Not mine.
No, I don't believe it. It's so high.
What do you think, sir? I always start by volar plan in the proximal side. I look for the
Branch.
neurovascular bundle, and then I start dissection from proximal to distal,
Yeah, I think that's a safer way to go.
pursuing the neurovascular bundle. So I'm sure that
Yeah,
I
I
will
think
not
that's-
injure them.
It's very far from the nerve, the artery, which doesn't make any sense. But I think this is a branch of. This could be a bifurcation here. But it's very dorsal. I'm not particularly worried. So you have a very big vessel here in this size. I think we're okay still. Okay. Keep going.
Wait, nobody.
Yes, careful with that. Did you hear that? So she's now worried a little more because there's no vessel going to this side of this finger. And now we're being a little more cautious. Not that we weren't being cautious before, we're being extra super special cautious. Where our knife is. Now we're getting into fat. That's where you expect to see it. And now we're in fat. Somewhere in here is going to be our nerve, hopefully. Somewhere in here is going to be our vessel. The problem with these multiply operated or previously operated on syndactyles, it's very hard to find intervascular fungal sometimes. You're going through scar. This is not your typical, even aperts, this is harder than aperts. Oh, here's a nice vessel. You see that? It's going to the small finger. And now we can trace that back to the wide and then back out. And that's what she's doing now. It also gives you a level. Now you know what level it's on. It should be very helpful. That allows you to go a little bit faster. And you can see all this scar. This is from the previous surgery. It's not normal. Not that aperts is normal, but it's not normal even for aperts. I have that retractor. Now she's following that vessel back so she can find that. So we should end up with something that looks like this. Right? If it all works, and then these spaces we'll have to fill. Right? And then on some of these, this was too long, so we split this, just like you would do a jumping man. Yeah? Just split it so you can advance this that way. Right? So we're advancing this down into here because we had a mismatch. This was this big. This was this big.
So it's the, I can also make it
Yeah. Same thing. If this is not long enough, if this is too long, right? So if you have a situation,
power off.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. Power off.
starting to draw a line. Right? And then from there, you start drawing z-plasties from there. Right? So something that's very linear like this, you're going to want sequential z-plasties. So let's say we think we can take about this much, so we'll go to here, and we'll go to there. And then the next one,
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
maybe there. And this one will be here, and maybe there. Right? They don't have to be all the same size. You can get smaller.
AUX mode.
The point is, this is a Z plus T, this is a Z plus T, and this is a Z plus T. They function side by side, but they're still independent of each other.
The Bluetooth device is
Each one of
ready
these
to
is
pair.
going to lengthen this segment.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. AUX mode.
So think of this skin as being pulled down and out.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair. Power off.
Because this point here is going to end up here. And as you do that, it's going to do this. Right? So it's going to go from here, there. And this flap here is going to go from here to there. Then you will end up with something that looks like this. Right? And then this will look like that. And this will look like that. You'll end up with something that looks like it's zigzag as opposed to a line. And what that does is it breaks up your scar, and it brings all this skin in here to make this skin longer. Anything else?
The Bluetooth device
Basic flex,
is ready
basic flex.
to pair. Power off.
Yes. So if you have just a little bit of a web here, web creep is very easy to treat. Very easy to treat. Much easier than the original synapses. You can do anything. You can do this flap here, right? You can do my favorite now, it could be full flap G plus T. You kind of draw your line of tension. It's the same thing. And then off of that, you draw your Z's. This is on the other side. Right? It doesn't matter how you do it. And you can, these don't have to be like this. You can put them here and make it more creep. Right? And then you have this flap that's going in here. And then from the other side, this, you put like this. Now I'm looking like a camel. So from the other side, everyone's a camel. From the other side, right, you're going to be up here. And now you're going to be coming down from there. Yes. Like this. Right? And like that. And like this. And then this, if you cut this here, and advance down, that you have this coming down here. So that's going to come up and around and down into there. Yep. And these are going to go in, and these are going to go up. So that's going to, this flap here, this part, will come and replace this. End up with something that looks like that. And then we'll do the sides, and then over here you'll have this thing here, and you'll have it move down. Okay? Another thing you can do is just a simple Z-plasty. It works great. If you don't feel comfortable doing something like this, you just look at you're looking at the web space down the middle. You just go like this, and like that. Right? And that's your Z. And then you just flip these, and it'll really shorten that for you. Just remember that whatever the central line of the Z, this is your line of tension. Wherever you put this, if it's in tension, it will be released. That tension will be released. And if it's a very long line, you can either do a big Z plus T, or you can do two little ones.
After asking and you put the day or double day or four or
Push left.
I just said it.
And I'll go to
إيه، نبغى لا.
Right? You can do that. And
يعني
that, what that does is
أفهم.
it pulls the skin a little
كاين
bit differently. So
symétrique
this is,
inversé
you wouldn't be this
ou
acute
discontinu
for
asymétrique.
this, but you
Club
probably stagger these a little bit
Face
more
à
like
face ou la continue.
this, right? Have a little more.
Asymétrique.
But if you had,
Pas de jongler bien.
let's say I want to bring this skin from here, right? And then, because I'm bringing this over to here and that over to here, but it works basically the same way. It doesn't really matter. You can combine a lot of these things depending on what incision you need. Like let's say you had something here that you needed to do. Yeah, so you end up with something that looks like this. you end up with, so that would become this. It would be like this. Right? And then, hold on.
ملي كتولي فاهم كتقدر تيماجيني الريزولتا قبل ما
Then it would go from,
باش كيعاود تتعلم في الدار دير بونجا ولا بابي وترسمهم وقطع بالسيزو باش تشوف لي ريزولتا باش تولي تيماجيني قبل ما دير واش عطاك لو ريزولتا ولا ما
it would give you something that looks like
كديرو
that.
سيغ بابي كارتوني ولا سيغ بونجا رقيقه كترسم
Actually, but
كاع لي تيب بحال هكذا وكتقطعهم
I think.
لا لا وكتشوف
Something
شنو
like that, yeah.
باش كيبقى عندك
But this is kind of in the middle. The hardest thing is, which is really difficult, is taking a Z plus D in reverse. Starting with this and ending, starting with a Cadbury, for example, and ending with that. That's much more complicated. I've had to do that. Like, for example, if you have in the palm, contracture this way, right? And you want to lengthen this skin, right? Your line of tension is going in that direction, right? So what you want to do is say maybe one here, one here, one here, and one here, and then you kind of connect those, right? And then when you do that, kind of like this, it's more complicated than that. Yeah, right. This goes to the middle. So this is like, imagine each one of these, again, is D plus D. So this length, and this length needs to be the same. This length, and this length needs to be the same. So I drew it all, right? So it gets very complicated to draw it in reverse. Huh? It's a class. Yeah, very complicated in reverse. Okay, you ready?